Amnesia the Bunker is possibly the greatest horror game ever made. Alright. I know that's a bold statement. That is a very bold statement. But I can explain why. So, if you know anything about the Amnesia games, they're pretty popular. They've been pretty popular for a couple of years. They're made and developed by Frictional Games. And you're probably wondering right now, what makes this specific Amnesia game so recognizable and so good, in my opinion? Well, that's a very convoluted question, and I'm going to explain why now. Welcome to the bunker. All right, we are Henri, a French soldier, sometime during World War One. We are immediately thrown into some sort of battle somewhere in Europe, I'm gonna assume, where we are running through trenches in the middle of this conflict, and our friend Lambert is helping us navigate around. Um, it's just like a basic tutorial where it teaches us like bricks can be used to throw down doors. The gun is very useful, and running, crouching, all that good stuff. All right, and then it ends, and we are put in a bar area. Well, not put in a bar area. Well, it's like a flashback, and it's Lambert gets sent on a patrol mission, and we, after he doesn't come back, we go and look for him, and we find him heavily wounded, and we pick him up, and we plan on taking him to some sort of like nurse wherever. We're trying to bring him back to safety, but we are caught by the Germans, and we get knocked out, and we awake in the bunker. We wake up, and no sign of anybody. There's corpses. It's just barren. We walk around, and we find a flashlight. This flashlight is very loud. Keep that in mind. Very loud flashlight. I get confused here because I didn't think that I could shoot open the lock or throw a brick at the lock. So I had like a lot of struggle here. But I got it open. And it opens up to the main part of the bunker where we enter the administrative office. This is our main save point and where the generator is. This is almost a safe house. And this is probably the most important place in the game due to the generator being downstairs. The generator is run on fuel. Fuel keeps the lights on. And in a message right next to the generator, the fucker hates the lights. Now let's talk about him. If you know anything about Frictional and their previous games, is that Frictional is the monster maker, in my opinion. They have this notorious rep to them to where their monsters are just scary and are brutal. They aren't cool, in quotes. They're genuinely horrifying. And the Stalker, which is the creature in this game, is no different. His main instinct, you could say, is his hearing. He can hear everything, including your flashlight. You use your flashlight too much? Oh, he's now in the room with you. You shoot your gun, he's in the room with you. You throw a grenade, he's obviously going to show up. He can hear you walking. The sound design is just perfect. Everything makes a noise, and that's what makes the Stalker scary. Genuinely. And just the way how he only appeared 14 times in my run, which is not a lot. The paranoia factor is what made this game so genuinely scary. And it was just impossible to tell when he was going to appear next, where he was going to appear next. And this extends to your safe zone, where there's a burrow where he comes out of, inside of your safe room. I never had him come out of this, but there is definitely a chance. There is a couple of ways you can deal with the Stalker. In quotes, deal. You can shoot him in the head, which stuns him temporarily. You can gas him with gas grenades. You can throw normal grenades. You can make him run into traps. If you think it can work, it can work. And that's apparent through the entire game, and they say that to you multiple times where they're like, use your wits. If you think you can do it, you can. Which is amazing. That is perfect in every single way. Now, the environment is probably my favorite part. Just the way the bunker is crafted, the way the Roman tunnels are crafted, the way the environment is crafted, the noises, the artillery shells that hit the bunker every now and again that scared the crap out of me every single time. Holy crap. It's astonishing to how well they made this bunker. It is dark, it is gloomy. Even with the lights on, it still feels terrible. There is just no hope anywhere. Even when you leave the tunnel for the first time, whenever you go through the Roman tunnels and you kill the crazy dude, I'll talk about that a bit later, you enter this massive, like, crater where you found Lambert in the beginning, and it's like your first taste of freedom, but the first thing you hear is the war still going on, which just shows that there's still a war going on, and even if we were to leave this bunker, there is still a very high chance that death is inevitable. And it's just amazing. The entire environment is just perfectly crafted. I know I already said that, but it's just amazing. The way that the bunker is set up into like the main five or six sections, and it's all explorable, and this is your only space. Like, yes, it may be considered a large bunker in quotes, but it's still a very small space, and it is you and one other monster, which is horrifying, because you just don't know where he is, and he doesn't know where you are, which is where the unpredictability comes in, which is what makes the game scary, in my opinion. See, now other horror games, there's this issue where everything is scripted, which there's nothing wrong with that. Scripted horror games can be good, but this game, I think, only had 2 scripted interactions, and that's just what makes it so good, is that every player's run is going to be different in certain ways, with the way items spawn, the way the stalker interacts, the way the stalker appears. Like, some dude could have only had like 3 stalker interactions in his entire game because he was just doing nothing, as I did the opposite, which is so neat because it's replayable. And with the new game plus features that they give you, which I haven't played through yet, but I think I am, it's gives you more item spawns, it makes the stalker more unpredictable, and everything just becomes scarier. And it also unlocks a new game mode called Shell Shocked, which I want to play on, and I maybe will for a future video. The remnants of what the bunker used to be, which is honestly an Amnesia classic, where you find notes and you figure out slowly what happened before you got here. And this game just does it really well with finding notes about the Roman tunnels, about this creature appearing and how they survived for so long until eventually you find all of their corpses, typically being eaten by the rats, which the rats are wild. They are annoying in a good way. They eat corpses, and they will follow your blood trail, making it harder for you to avoid the monster. They are literal pests, and the only way to get rid of them is by either don't bleed or burn the body, and they will just scurry away and won't come back. Now, past the bunker, and actually the main point of the bunker in the lore, is there's this area called the Roman tunnels. This, which I thought it was going to be an easy area. I was told about it, and I was like, I don't have to worry about the stalker. Easy. But when you enter these Roman tunnels, you're surrounded in, like, weird magic crystals and stuff. But as you enter, you find a crazy soldier who tore his eyes out to see, which is weird. I don't know why he would do that, but he did. And he has a shotgun, and because he's blind, he shoots at the nearest sound, which is really inconvenient for us again. And the moment you enter the main Roman tunnel area, he's just like ranting and talking about just like random stuff. He's definitely not okay. But it's difficult because there's all these shadows around you, and it's hard to tell which one is actually him and which one's just a shadow, which I definitely shot at a few shadows, as a normal person does. But I eventually got the jump on him, and I got behind him, and I just shot him right in the head, which gives us the shotgun. But I think there was another way to find the shotgun that I didn't find it, but just so you know, that exists. And the shotgun is really good. I used it once, because I cannot find ammo for it. I searched everywhere for ammo for this shotgun, and I could not find any. I was playing on hard, by the way, so resources were more scarce, and I also just have insanely bad luck. But the shotgun was useful for the final fight, which the final fight enters once you get the dynamite and the stick, which was the main part of the story, which I'm going to cover now. The story is fairly simple. It's all more lore than story, if you know what that means. We more find out about the remnants of the past than what's going on currently. What's going on currently is that we were told to get the dynamite and the piece to activate the dynamite, which we find the dynamite in the arsenal, which we go through a whole set to get that arsenal code, which you go and we get the dynamite, and then we get that stick to activate the dynamite from the Roman tunnels, which I just talked about. And you eventually blow open the hole and you expect to be free, but instead it leads down, which if you go down, it is, I don't even know how to explain this section of the game. It's a really neat environment, but you have one last fight with the stalker, which I did not kill the stalker. No way. I even tried the throwing the rabbit and then blowing up the bridge, but I didn't have the ammo for that. So I just ran with very low health, by the way. And we get out. We free ourselves from the bunker. And behind us, the stalker, who loses interest in us, and we probably just released a absolute beast onto the battlefield. But we're going to ignore that. And we're just surrounded in dead French soldiers, and I saw this, and I was just like, yeah, we're cooked. And we hear Germans and dogs, and it just cuts, implying that we die. Even after going through all that, the war was still going, and at the end, it was just death. I hope this could explain to you why I believe Amnesia the Bunker could possibly be one of the greatest horror games ever, which is, again, a bold statement, but that is my opinion. Everything here was my opinion. So, shut up before you post that paragraph of a comment. But that's it, honestly. It's an amazing game. I honestly tried to leave out some pieces just because I want you to play it. It's only $25 and it goes on sale for pretty good. So you should honestly go check it out. But thanks for watching. See ya.